to go. Why do you have to go?
Come on, Anna, we talked about this. It's Mummy and Daddy's anniversary.
I don't care. I don't want you to go.
We'll be home later. Don't you want us to have a good time?
No.
Are you off then?
We're just going. You'll be all right with Mrs. Foster. You'll have a nice time.
No, I won't.
Child, you go straight up to your room. You'll watch no television tonight.
I don't care. I hate you.
You just wait until your parents come home. Just wait until I tell them.
Of dawn revealed a grim sight. In addition, it had brought with it a note of tragedy. The owner of the car had been discovered. His remains had been found beneath the debris of the gutted caravan.
Well, there's nothing here to indicate how the fire started, nothing. The only thing I can think of is this jerry can must have come open. It's on the floor with the top open like it is now.
What is it?
I don't know. Mrs. Foster? Mrs. Foster?
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
I'll be back in an hour. No way of wasting your time going. They're all snobs.
It's for the village, Jack. That's why I'm going.
Marcus! It's 5 to 11. We ought to be on our way.
Rightio.
Marcus!
I'm coming. Don't blow a fuse.
Hi, Mum.
Where are you going, dear?
I don't know. Just out. See you.
Yeah, that's a good boy. Feels much better. Is he still limping?
Not really.
Well, we'll keep him on the painkillers a bit longer, but I think he's going to be okay. Here's a good boy, Jackie.
His name's Lucky.
Right.
If you don't mind removing your hand from that dog's arse, Gordon, darling, it's time to go.
We come now to the main item on the agenda, the Perfect Village competition. As we all know, it's only 4 days away now.
It's July the 10th.
That's it. And let's not forget the first prize of £5,000 that's at stake.
We could rebuild the village hall with that.
Absolutely, Ray. So we're leaving nothing to chance, Bella.
Yes.
Thank you. The tent's going up on the green the day before, so lunch will be served at 1.
Yes, I've got all the food sorted, Mr. De Vere. We're going to have sausages, chicken wings and pasties. I'll do the village proud.
And at the same time, I'll be serving some of Marcus's homemade wine.
The apricot and elderberry has turned out absolutely tip-top this year.
Oh, it'll certainly make an impression.
Entertainment. A musical gala on the green to accompany lunch, Mary.
Nothing to worry about there, Marcus. I've been working with the village orchestra. In fact, we've been going at it hammer and tongs.
Well, not literally, I hope.
It's important to show these judges that there's still some young blood in Midsummer Mallow.
Absolutely.
I don't suppose we know yet who the judges actually are.
Well, Rosemary Thurman, the editor of Country Matters, is going to be one, and I think Frank Mannion has agreed to join the panel.
Frank Mannion?
He does that gardening programme on television, Along the Garden Path.
That's right. And I believe Annabelle Cross has also been asked to join. Oh. And there's also a member of the public.
Oh?
Yes, they ran a competition and someone, I've got her name here somewhere. Anyway, the winner will be asked to join the panel. She'll probably be the easiest one to impress.
Bung her an extra sausage. And her vote will be in the bag.
So you're going to be a judge. What's the first prize?
That was the first prize, Tom. It means a week away from home, first-class travel, and a big dinner at the end.
Away from home for a week?
Don't worry. I've already phoned Cully. She's coming tomorrow.
She's not working?
She is, as a matter of fact. She's writing a book.
A book? That's different.
It's something to do with the theatre. I'm sure she'll tell you all about it.
The Perfect Village competition. Don't suppose any of the Midsummer villages made it through to the final, did they?
There is one, yes, Midsummer Mallow. Tom, don't tell me you're investigating some grisly murder there.
No. Very quiet at the minute. Apart from one thing. We've had a spate of burglaries.
I've got to go.
Petey, have you?
Yeah. And so have you.
Why? Where are you going?
I've got business.
There's someone else, isn't there?
No.
I couldn't bear it if there was. I really couldn't.
You better get home. Your mum and dad would kill you if they knew you were here.
They'd kill you first.
Greyfriars house.
Pete, you sure about this?
You said he was going to be in London, not back until late.
I mean, it's too much too soon. We're going to get caught.
You losing your bottle, Jack?
No, it didn't.
I hope not. Come on.
What is it? I thought I heard something.
There's nothing here. Let's go. You old fart.
Right, let's go.
Piece of cake.
How many is this? 6?
7.
7. 7 burglaries in 2 months. It's an epidemic, Troy. Who is it this time?
His name's Edward Allardyce. He's a retired actor. Lives here alone.
Big house for one man. And where was he last night?
You can ask him yourself. He's inside.
I had to go to London yesterday, a meeting with my accountant. I didn't get back till 1 in the morning. It's almost as if they knew.
Did you tell anyone about your travel plans, Mr. Allardyce?
No, I keep myself to myself. Oh, I may have mentioned something to Ray. Dorset, the butcher. You can't go in there without chatting.
And there was no one in the house?
My wife died some years ago, and I live alone. But I may be able to help you.
Sir?
Well, when I was driving home, I saw a white van. I was quite near the house, and it was doing a ton. That's why I noticed it.
I don't suppose you got a...
registration number? Well, yes, I got most of it. M293, then an F, or it could have been an E, something W. It was going too fast.
That may be very helpful, sir.
If ever I get my hands on the little bastards that did this, I'll kill them. It wasn't just what they stole, it was the damage they did. That portrait was painted by Lucien Blake. And the bowl they smashed, which was given to me by Olivier. Irreplaceable.
We'll do what we can, sir.
Don't mind me asking, sir, how do you know there were 2 of them?
I'm sorry?
You said little bastards, plural. There could have been just one.
Well, I assumed. They always come in pairs, don't they?
You don't think he was lying, do you? About being out of the house? Those were made last night. I've checked them. They don't match his car. They could belong to the white van.
Quite possibly, Troy. But these tracks are quite clearly turning that way, aren't they? And surely the London road's over there.
So if Allardyce was coming from London...
Couldn't have seen the van.
So he is lying?
Or obfuscating, certainly.
You must be the police officers come to investigate the break-ins.
Yes, sir. You must know a lot about the village, working here.
I suppose I do.
Has there been anyone in here who's new to the area? Someone perhaps showing a special interest in other people's movements?
No. No, the last person to come to the village was Mr. Allardyce. That was quite recent. 5, 6 years ago.
No one more recent than that.
Well, I don't like to point the finger at anyone.
Go on.
You might want to talk to Peter Drinkwater. He's Mary Drinkwater's nephew, great-nephew. He came back to live in the village earlier this year. Lived with her for a while, and then he moved into the old farm, Windy Whistle Farm. It's deserted now.
Peter Drinkwater.
Young lad. Bit on the wild side.
Peter Drinkwater. That name rings a bell.
Do you want to go and talk to him?
Unless you have other plans?
Why'd you have to do that? Why'd you have to talk about Peter that way?
I could have said more than I did.
He's my friend, Dad.
He's trouble, and he's leading you into trouble. I wish he'd never come here. Sometimes I want to...
What?
Nothing.
What time is it?
12.
Be better soon. It's his afternoon surgery. You've got to go.
All right.
You don't care, do you?
What?
Stay or go. You don't care. Maybe that's what I like about you, Peter. But you're so bloody heartless. You're like an animal.
Watch it.
I'm complimenting you. Gordon never found out about you. He's new to you. Do you know that? He's good at that.
If you don't like Gordon, why do you talk about him so much?
Good question. Don't ever change. I like you just the way you are.
And do you know what I like about you?
What?
Your generosity.
I hadn't forgotten. You still seeing that girl? The DeVere girl? Caroline. I wonder what she'd say if she knew about me.
Get lost, Laura. Just piss off, all right? You start threatening me, you can look for your 50-quid thrills elsewhere.
Peter.
Maybe you should try Jack. He'd do it for 30. And he might even enjoy it.
God, you little bastard.
Windy Whistle Farm. If you wanted a place to stash some stolen loot, this would be it.
All these outbuildings.
It's gotta be him.
Yes. Here he is now.
You're Peter Drinkwater?
And you're police, aren't you?
Detective Sergeant Troy, Corston CID. This is Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby.
It's the same smell. You can always tell.
Would you mind stepping out the car? We'd like to talk to you about a break-in at Greyfriars house last night.
Would you? And what if I don't want to talk to you?
You realise I could be back here in a couple of hours with a warrant to search this entire place?
Search it. I don't give a damn.
Charming.
Yes.
Do you want me to take a look round?
No, Troy. We'll do this one by the book. Let's get the warrant first.
lunch? I've been out walking. I'm stivvy starving. What is it?
Peter Drinkwater.
What?
You're seeing him again, aren't you?
No.
Don't lie to me, Caroline. I found these in your room.
Mummy?
Letters, love letters, disgusting letters. How could you?
You shouldn't be searching in my room.
That boy is a snake in the grass. He is nothing but trouble, and you will listen to me.
No, I won't. I'm 20 years old now. I can do what I like.
Look, maybe I should go and have a talk with him. Just the two of us, mano a mano.
No, Daddy, no. I love Peter more than anyone in the whole world. We're going to live together, and there's nothing you can do.
Oh, afternoon, Caroline. Is something the matter?
No.
Do you know, I was talking about you only this morning. I was rather hoping I'd bump into you.
Mrs. Briley?
I was talking to Peter Drinkwater. I know he's a friend of yours, but perhaps there's something you ought to know about him. And I'm going to tell you.
Sir?
Shh. Thought I knew that name, Peter Drinkwater. He's got a record. Nothing very serious. 2 police cautions. Taking and driving away. Shoplifting. Oh. And a 6-month suspended sentence for assault.
And you think he's graduated to burglary?
What you got?
The registration number of the van. I had to go around in circles a bit, but I finally got there. M923FBW. A white Renault Traffic. Registered to Ray Dorset in Midsummer Mallow.
Oh, Ray Dorset the butcher?
He has a 21-year-old son, Jack Dorset. I think it may have been him working in the shop.
And the shop is the centre of gossip in any village. People tell Ray when they're going to be away for the weekend.
And Jack tells his mate Peter.
I think so. Who shall we go for first?
Oh, Peter. He's an obnoxious little sod. Let's start with him.
All right.
Right, everyone. Can you calm down, please? Thank you. Now, this is our last rehearsal before Judgment Day. And you all know how important it is that we make the right impression. Thank you, Richard. I want lots of energy, lots of pizzazz. Now, everyone together now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and...
Finish it. I'm going out.
Where are you going?
Just out.
was the van, M923FBW. Do you want me to go after it?
No, that was the butcher. Ray Dorset driving. We'll catch up with him later. Get yourselves round the back. Don't want them getting away.
Sir? There was a computer on the inventory taken from the Allardyce house.
Oh, I wish they were all as easy as this. Now all we need to do is find Mr. Drinkwater. Oh, for heaven's sake.
Nasty way to go.
Yes.
Quick, though. One of the prongs cracked a rib and went straight into the heart. Must have taken quite a lot of strength.
You're saying it was a man?
Or a very strong woman. Skewered him like a spud on Guy Fawkes night. I wouldn't be surprised if it shattered the spleen and the kidney, too.
Right.
Certainly one for the books, though. Death by pitchfork. Personally, I've never seen anything like it.
How long ago did it happen?
Well, the body's still warm to the touch. No sign of rigor mortis. Half an hour to an hour, tops. Shame you didn't get here a bit sooner.
Yes.
What did you want him for?
Burglary.
Well, I suppose that's rough justice, then. Breaking and entering. That's what someone did to him. You mind if I take him?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Right, Cyril?
Oh, wait a minute. What's that, Tommy?
Credit card, sir.
Oh, so it is.
Name of Gordon Brierley. Suppose it must have been stolen. You think this has got anything to do with the break-in, sir?
Hard to say. We need to know more about the late Peter Drinkwater, don't we?
He had an aunt living in the village.
He also had an accomplice. We have an eyewitness who places your father's van at the scene of at least one of the houses broken into. We have also recovered several of the missing items from Windy Whistle Farm. And I must warn you, we're going to have those checked for fingerprints.
They were using my van?
Yes.
OK. I'll tell you what you want to know, but on my own.
You wouldn't mind, sir.
Jack?
It's all right, Dad. We were at school together, Pete and me. The break-ins was his idea.
But you had a good job with your father. Why'd you get involved with him?
I hate the bloody job. Bowing and scraping behind the bloody meat counter. That's no life.
So how many were there?
What?
Burglaries.
Oh, too many. I told him that, but he wouldn't listen.
What, you argued?
No. No, you couldn't argue with him. He wouldn't listen.
Would you say he had any enemies?
Or who hated Peter Drinkwater? Be easy to ask who didn't.
You had no idea what he was up to?
Of course not. If I'd known, I'd have...
What?
I'd have stopped him.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to charge your son with various offences connected with the break-ins.
It wasn't his fault. He didn't know what he was doing. It was that other one.
Peter Drinkwater.
You think Peter Drinkwater led your son astray? That why you went to see him this afternoon?
What?
We saw you just before 3 o'clock. We were driving up to Windy Whistle Farm. You passed us on the road.
I wasn't up at the farm. No, I was making my deliveries. I was on my way to Corston.
So you drove past the entrance to the farm?
Yeah, but I didn't stop.
You didn't see anything?
There was a car coming out of the yard. A Renault. Bright red. One of the newer models.
I don't suppose you got a number?
No. I didn't see who was driving it either. Had tinted windows. Mr. De Vere's got a Renault. It's bright red. It's got tinted windows. Perhaps you should be talking to him.
Screamy. Oh, that's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 14, plus 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, and 50 for using all my letters, 71.
That's jolly good. It's not actually a word, though, is it? Screamy.
What?
You could have scream.
It is a word. Some films are screamy. It's in the dictionary.
If you say so.
Have you heard?
What?
He's been killed. Peter. Everyone's talking about it in the village. The police are up at the farm. They say he was stabbed.
What?
Caroline.
I thought I loved him, but I didn't. And now he's dead, and I don't care. But you got what you wanted, both of you. So I hope you're glad.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, you. What news, then, of the judging?
They've booked us into the Castle Hotel at Wisdom. And the first meeting's on Friday.
Do we know the other judges?
There's Rosemary Furman and Frank Mannion.
Along the garden path.
And they were going to have Annabel Cross, but at the last minute she's let them down. They've managed to get Samantha Johnston to step in.
She writes the Sister Clare Chronicles, a life in an English village seen through the eyes of a retired nun.
How long are you going to be away?
Only a week. We're in somewhere called Little Kirkbridge the day after tomorrow, and then Midsummer Mallow the day after that.
Midsummer Mallow? I was there myself today.
Another burglary?
No. I think we've found the burglar.
Have you made an arrest yet?
No.
I thought you just said that you got the burglar.
Yes, but I'm afraid he didn't have very much to say.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Troy.
That looks like the red Renault Ray Dorset was telling us about.
Oh, Lothlorien. That's Lord of the Rings, huh?
Huh?
J.R. Tolkien.
Oh, I never read it. I started The Hobbit once.
And?
Oh, it's all dwarves and fairies. I like books with a bit more, you know.
I can imagine.
Peter Drinkwater. Of course I knew him. Everyone in the village knew him. Probably wish they didn't.
I can't imagine why you would wish to talk to us about him, Chief Inspector.
Well, I'd be very interested to know. When was the last time you saw Peter Drinkwater, Mrs. De Vere?
The last time? I couldn't tell you. A week ago?
I saw him lounging outside the Crooked Billet. Had to be last Thursday. I didn't speak to him, though.
So neither of you have seen him in the last 24 hours?
No.
Then how would you explain the fact that your car was seen leaving Windy Whistle Farm just before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon?
Exactly the same time Drinkwater was killed.
What?
Don't suppose anyone else drives your car. Oh, your daughter?
She doesn't drive.
Then it must have been one of you.
Yes, it was. Actually, it was me.
Marcus?
Who was it who actually saw me? Just out of interest.
Ray Dorset, the butcher. He was on his way to Corston.
Ah. Well, that landed me in it, hasn't he? It's not like Ray.
So you did see Peter Drinkwater?
No. No, I didn't. I did go to see him, but he wasn't there. At least I tooted, you know. There was no answer, so I drove away.
May I ask why did you go to see him?
Well, it's a bit personal, really. The fact is, he's been carrying on with Caroline.
Our daughter.
I wanted to know what his intentions were. So I thought we ought to have a chat. Mano a mano. Those were my exact words, weren't they?
Do you remember what time you left home?
It'd be about 2:30. You'd just gone up for your nap. She always dozes off in the afternoon, and that's when I went.
It was 2:30, yes.
But you didn't see anyone at the farm? Only Ray. Yes, he drove past.
Are you certain it was Ray driving the van?
Yes, he had the window down. He was smoking a cigarette. Ray smokes all the time.
You can't really think my husband had anything to do with what happened, Mr. Barnaby. He was with the National Westminster for 37 years.
Yes, I worked in the city.
Is your daughter Caroline?
Yes. That was taken on her 18th birthday.
That's very nice. I wonder, would it be possible to have a word with her? Do you know where she is now?
Well, she has a summer job at the Causton Nursery.
Children?
Flowers.
You're not looking very happy today, are you? No. You're never going to go to a nice home if you don't cheer up a bit. I always talk to the plants. You know, like Prince Charles. It helps them grow.
When did you last see Peter Drinkwater?
Peter? I don't know. I suppose it was the day before yesterday.
Were the two of you, in a relationship?
I suppose Jack told you. Peter told Jack everything. Well, we were in a relationship, but it was over. I ended it.
Why did you do that?
Because of Laura Briley.
Briley?
Yes. Laura told me lots of things about Peter. Private things. But I knew she was telling the truth and I didn't want to see him again.
Were you angry with him?
I could have killed him. But I didn't have to. Because somebody did it for me.
Looks like the Brileys are out, sir.
Oh, we'll catch up with them later on. In the meantime, Troy, has it occurred to you that someone actually threatened to kill Peter Drinkwater while we were actually there? If I ever get my hands on the little bastards who did this, I'll kill them.
Edward Allardyce?
Yeah, let's take his property back to him. I want to know why he lied about that white van.
Or obfuscated, you mean?
What I say is, I think we ought to put it to the vote. The judges will be arriving the day after tomorrow. The question is, do we call the whole thing off?
What? No, it's too late to cancel. It's not just us, it's the whole village.
You don't think the fact that we've just had a brutal murder committed won't damage our chances just a teeny bit?
Well, they don't need to know. The judges, nobody needs to tell them.
That's right.
What do you think, Miss Drinkwater?
Well, I suppose I'm thinking of the children. The village orchestra. We've been rehearsing for months. And, well, I know it was Peter who was killed. My own flesh and blood. I had to go and identify the body. And...
Steady on, old thing. Shall I get you a drink?
No, I'm all right. Peter never did anything for the village. And it seems to me that if we let his death spoil Saturday, well, he's still spoiling things, even though he's gone. So I'm afraid I agree with Ray.
Well, are we ready to put it to the vote? Let's take the ayes first.
I say this is a perfect village. We have no reason to be ashamed.
I'm with that.
And me.
Yes, I say we go on.
Well, I say you're all crazy. You can't have music and chicken wings 3 days after a murder.
That's a no, then.
It doesn't make any difference. Ray, Bella, Mary and me, that's a majority.
And I'm afraid I'm with the others, Laura. So, the ayes have it.
Judgment Day goes ahead.
I very much appreciate this, Mr. Barnaby.
Well, just look upon it as part of the service, sir.
What about the rest of it?
It's at the station. You'll have to come in and sign for it.
Well, I suppose it's all ended fairly satisfactorily.
Yes, though not for Peter Drinkwater, would you say?
For the man who broke in. Yes, I'm sorry.
You did say you wanted to kill him, though.
Oh, that was just words. Anyway, I didn't know who he was.
I was wondering, you say you saw the white van. You got part of the number, but you didn't recognise the van itself, though you must have seen it often enough around the shop.
What exactly are you suggesting, Detective Chief Inspector?
You sure you weren't at home that night?
You could have been here. You could have seen them.
I told you I was in London.
There was no one else in the house.
I live alone. My wife Jane died in a car accident. I was almost killed myself. And I resent your questions. In fact, if you don't mind, I think I'd like you to leave. Now. It's all right. They've gone. But we'll have to be careful. They might be coming back.
I really ought to get going.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen the paper?
Hasn't arrived yet. Come on.
Mum, we're going to be late.
Are you sure about this, Cully? I could have taken a cab.
Goodbye, Joyce.
I'm quite nervous. What do you think the other judges will be like?
Ed, this is Rosemary. I'm phoning from the car. Look, we're going to have to do something about the September cover. Darling, I said autumnal. That doesn't have to mean bloody funereal. No, I can't. I'm out of London all week. This sodding competition. We're on the N40 now.
The repeat blooming shrub rose. For me, it's the crowning glory of any garden. And what better choice than our old friend, the English cottage rose. Tough little fella with that lovely ripe fragrance.
And cut.
That's it, Jeremy, darling. I'm out of here. I've got a taxi waiting. I'll see you all in a week's time. Toodaloo!
Are you going in? Yes. Do I look all right?
You look fine.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, no. Thank you for the lift.
Oh, God. Country hotels. Teas made in the bedroom and teenage waiters with acne at reception. I'm so glad you could make it, Samantha. I thought you might have been back in that, what's that psychiatric place you go to? The retreat?
No.
Depression's a terrible thing. Have you thought about Prozac?
Oh. Hello, Rosemary. Ah. Samantha, darling, how are you? I heard you'd stepped in at the last minute. I love the new book, by the way. I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you.
Hello, Frank. I haven't seen you since...
Since you fired me, Rosemary.
Oh, yes. Well, you've got that television program now.
And doing very nicely, thank you very much.
Yes. I suppose it allows you to pursue your interest in pansies.
Hello?
Joyce Barnaby?
Yes.
Hello, my name's Rosemary Furman. I'm editor of Country Matters. This is Frank Mannion.
Oh, how lovely to meet you. I often watch your programme.
Ah. Now, these are green fingers. I'm sure that you're a wonderful gardener. I can always tell.
And this is Samantha Johnston.
Nice to meet you.
How do you do?
Oh. Sorry, phone.
And do you read Country Matters?
Yes.
And do you live in the country?
Yes. Well, sort of. I live in Corston.
Corston? I don't think I know it.
It's in Midsummer.
Ah, yes, Midsummer Mallow.
That's not far from us. Coffee? Oh, no, thank you. Not from
Right. Well, I think we should get going. Little Kirkbridge this afternoon, Midsummer Mallow tomorrow. Does anyone actually know where Midsummer Mallow is?
I see you're as well informed as ever, Rosemary. Joyce here lives quite near it.
Yes?
It's a nice place. I've passed through it once or twice.
Now, I've had notes done on all the finalists. We should take a look at those before we go. This coffee's cold. Frank, why don't you see if you can get your hands on a waiter?
Fine.
But not literally. Right?
Right.
Try. Take a look at this. This might interest you.
What is it?
Edward Allardyce. I've been checking up on him. He was telling the truth about that car crash. It was 6 years ago. He was driving, and according to that report, he was drunk.
So he killed his wife?
Well, that's just the thing. There's no death certificate. Her name was Jane Rochelle. She was in the same business, an actress. And as far as I can see, she survived.
So where is she now?
Good question.
And why lie about it?
Dunno. There's nothing in this case that's straightforward. Allardyce threatened to kill Drinkwater, but it was Marcus de Vere who was there on the day.
And Ray Dorset driving past?
You check up on that?
Yeah, he was in Corston at 3.
Still something wrong. Is the van passing the farm? I don't know. Yeah, and then there's this.
Gordon Briley's credit card. You know, we still haven't spoken to him.
It's time we did.
Gordon shouldn't be long. He's over at Poplar Farm. They've had an outbreak of leptospirosis in their dairy cattle. Milk?
No, I'll have mine black. Thanks.
Mrs. Briley, I'm afraid I've got to ask you some questions about your relationship with Peter Drinkwater.
Ah.
I understand that you and he were,
involved.
Well, I suppose we might as well be adult about this. It was a question of supply and demand. And the truth is, Gordon's always been a bit short in the supply department, if you know what I mean. Milk?
Yeah, please. Did he come to the house?
Occasionally.
So it's quite possible he could have taken something of your husband's from here.
Something of Gordon's? Such as what?
Laura?
Gordon? These are policemen. They seem to have found something of yours.
A credit card, sir.
Well, that's mine, all right. Cool. Where did you find it?
At Windy Whistle Farm. Peter Drinkwater was squatting there.
What, and he'd taken my credit card?
Unless you were up there yourself, sir, and somehow managed to drop it.
I haven't been up to Windy Whistle Farm.
Be interested to know where you were around 3 o'clock, sir, on Wednesday?
Wednesday? I was operating on Wednesday. A cat had to be spayed.
You didn't go out?
No. Laura was here. She helped me. We stayed in together.
Why did you tell them that?
What?
You went out on Wednesday after you'd done the cat.
Did I?
Where did you go?
No, I didn't, Laura. I was here all the time. Do you understand? I never left.
The village of Little Kirkbridge. Today you have it seen. And we finish now where we began, upon the village green.
Is he serious?
To celebrate your visit, and to hope you'll come again, our merry team of Morris men are here to entertain.
Oh, God.
We got long sword dancing, clog and molly dancing, a Norfolk border dance with sticks, and finally they all put on antlers for something called an Abbott's Bromley horn dance.
How many points did you give them?
Well, I thought they were rather fun, but I don't think the others were very impressed.
Well, the other judges, how are they?
Rosemary has hay fever. Samantha, the writer, well, she's completely depressed. Frank Mannion's all right, although I'm afraid after dinner he disappeared with one of the waiters.
Come home.
I'll see you tomorrow. Midsummer Mallow.
Bye.
Would you like to join me?
Oh, yes, all right.
I'm so pleased to meet you. I don't know what's happened to the others. Barman, 2 large whiskies, please. What are you going to have?
Why didn't you tell her?
What?
Mum, about the murder.
Ah, well, don't really know. It didn't seem to be fair somehow.
To her or the village?
To both.
I don't see how you can be a perfect village when you've got a homicidal maniac running around with a pitchfork.
No, maybe that's my point. I didn't want to influence her judgment. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure that it was a homicidal maniac.
So who wanted to kill him?
Quite a few people, actually. He was having an affair with the vet's wife, and he was carrying on with someone else's daughter.
At the same time?
Mm-hmm. And then there were the burglaries. He was breaking into people's houses.
Yes, but you don't murder someone just because they burgled you, do you?
Ah, well, as a matter of fact, one of the victims threatened to do exactly that. Edward Allardyce. He said as much to me. If I ever get my hands on the little bastards that did this, I'll kill him.
Edward Allardyce, the actor.
Did you know him?
Dad, Edward Allardyce did 4 seasons at the Playhouse. You know he was married to Jane Rochelle? Back in the 60s, she was said to be one of the most beautiful women in the world. She made a lot of films in America, but then she died in a car accident, I think. Is he really living in Midsummer Mallow?
Yep.
Do you think I could meet him? He could tell me everything I need to know.
Yeah, well, I suppose it'd be all right, but he's still theoretically a suspect in my murder investigation.
Come on, Dad. He wouldn't murder a local delinquent. He's a famous actor.
Well, maybe not, but someone did.
Laura, aren't you ready yet? 5 to 7.
Gordon, what What are these doing here?
They need to go in the wash.
But this is blood.
Yes.
Well, why did you put them in the cupboard like that? And how did the blood get there? Is it animal blood?
Oh, yes. It's animal, all right. Nasty little creature. It's all right now. I put it out of its misery. Now let's go. I don't want to be late.
Straight.
Straight. That's fine.
Yep.
Yes?
Mr. Allardyce, I'm writing a book about the Causton Playhouse. I just found out that you live here and...
No, I'm sorry. I'm not interested.
You met my father, Tom Barnaby? Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby? He was here.
Yes, he came about the burglary.
Yes.
Very well. The police brought back the rest of my property this morning. I'm very grateful to your father. There was nothing of any great financial value, but some of it was sentimental.
You heard what happened to the man that broke in?
Yes. He must have had a lot of enemies, someone like that. It seems he had one too many.
This is Hamlet, the 1955 production.
Yes. Olivier directed it. I was Laertes to his Hamlet. He set it...
In a doll's house, with just 7 actors.
Yes, that's right, yes. He said he wanted to get to the core of the play. But, of course, really, he wanted more stage time for himself.
I'd like to have seen it.
Well, I imagine you'd have been too young. Well, how can I help you?
I'm writing a book about the Playhouse, and I wondered if I could interview you.
Well, I'm not really interested in being interviewed. Been a long time now since I was in the public eye.
6 years. I know you retired.
After the accident. I was quite badly hurt. And, of course, my wife was...
I know, I'm sorry.
Still, I might be able to help you in what you want to know. I was in Causton for 7 years. That's one of the reasons I decided to settle here. But I'd rather you didn't mention the name of the house. I don't like people coming here. Well, the public, you know.
Whatever you say. You don't mind if I tape it, though, just for myself?
No.
Now, is everyone ready? They'll be here any minute.
That's right. Alex, I want all the glasses in lines. Good. Oh, Ray, that smells good.
Thank you.
I don't know how you can go through with this so soon after...
Miss him, do you? Peter Drinkwater.
Not particularly.
Nor do I. Nor does anyone. But if you are missing him, here's something to remember him by. This was his.
Here they are. 1, 2, 3, and...
Mrs. Furman.
Yes?
As head of the Midsummer Mallow Committee, I'd like to welcome you and your fellow judges to Midsummer Mallow. As you can see, we've arranged perfect weather for your visit to our perfect village.
This is Joyce Barnaby, one of our readers.
How do you do?
Frank Mannion.
How do you do?
And Samantha Johnston.
How do you do?
I'm afraid it's a very tight schedule. We only have an hour and a half.
Excuse me.
What is it, Mrs. De Vere?
I thought I saw someone take something.
Marcus?
Oh, yes. Yes, sorry. I'd like to introduce Gordon Brierley, who's lived here and been our vet for 11 years. It'll be his job to give you the full historical tour.
From the 3rd century AD to the present day. You're actually standing on what we believe was once a Saxon burial ground.
Oh.
Mummy, you all right? I thought I saw someone. Alex, did someone just take a bottle?
No, Mrs. De Vere.
That's very strange. Oh, well, we'd better get on with it.
I thought we'd start with the medieval almshouses, small parts of which actually date back to the 14th century.
Ah, looks as if the judges have already arrived. See?
Are we going to join the tour?
No, no. Seen enough of this village, if you want the truth. We'll wait till they get back.
Small tumuli.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
I enjoyed it. I like the idea of your book. We should talk again.
I'd like that.
Do you have a car?
No, I'm walking into the village.
Oh. Well, I'll come with you if you don't mind. I've got a bit of shopping to do.
Sure.
There was a time when you didn't have to lock up. Shall we?
Actually, I'm an actress myself. Or at least trying to be. You must know how difficult it is these days. My boyfriend, Nico, he was the one who suggested that I...
And that brings us back to the green where we started, and also to the present day. We have a fete here every summer. Bonfire nights, pancake races, and Easter egg hunts. Midsummer Mallow isn't just a village, it's a community. And in conclusion, I have to say, we certainly find it perfect.
Bravo, well said.
Are you looking for someone? I'm not sure.
Well, you must be hungry. Stevie's starving after all that walking.
We have homemade wine, and all the food is locally grown. If you'd care to step this way.
Mr. Barnaby.
Mr. De Vere.
You're not, I don't suppose your investigation could wait just a minute or two? Well, I wouldn't want to obstruct justice, but the thing is that we're in the middle of this competition.
So I see.
It was a committee decision to go ahead, but we were rather hoping that no one would actually mention the murder.
You think it'll spoil your chances?
Well, absolutely.
Don't worry, Mr. De Vere. We are here in an unofficial capacity. One of the judges is my wife.
Mrs. Barnaby, of course.
And I haven't said a word.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Come and have a sausage roll.
Good afternoon, Your Honour. Did you find Midsummer Mallow guilty or not guilty?
Tom,
How was it?
terrible. Can we go somewhere quieter?
What?
The music's so loud.
In an English country garden,
You're not serving beer, I suppose, mate?
No, it's homemade wine.
Oh, forget it.
It was nice to meet you, Cully.
And you. I'm meeting my parents for a drink. Do you want to join us?
No, thank you all the same. These village events aren't for me.
Bye-bye then.
I can't believe it. Rosemary Furman hates the countryside. She lives in London, and as far as I can make out, she never leaves it.
You mean she edits country matters from the heart of Sellar?
Exactly. She and Frank Mannion are at each other's throats the whole time. He can't stand her.
Here's Cully. Your mother's just been giving me an insider's view of the judging panel.
The only decent one is Samantha Johnston. I think I better go and rescue her.
Did you see him?
Yeah, he's nice. You're right about the house, though. It's creepy. You all right, Samantha?
No. No, I'm not all right. I just seen someone in the street.
In the street?
You can get me another of those, please.
Would you like to come and meet Tom?
No, I'm all right.
That lady over there, she wants another drink.
Hello. Always been a very big fan of your program, Mr. Mannion.
Oh, please, make that frank. Do you have a garden?
Yes. Nothing grand, just a little patch out the back.
That's all you need.
Oh, thank you so much.
But...
God, that's disgusting. What is it?
Elderberry and apricot.
Let's go back to the hotel. I'm dying here. Not soon enough, my dear.
Oi.
All right, darling?
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm glad you're here.
I think it's fun, Daddy. I bet we're going to win.
Is she all right?
Another glass of wine, they'll have to carry her out. I've never seen anyone.
Dad. Mummy? Oh. Oh.
Please! Stand back, sir. Give us some air. Oh, she... Still breathing. She must have had some sort of attack.
Someone help me! Someone do something!
I'll need to run a few tests, but I'll bet your bottom dollar it's cyanide. Rat poison or something. See the skin? Abnormally pink. Her red cells have been oxygenated. Classic.
Cyanide, that's got no taste, does it?
Right. And 1 in 4 people can't smell it either. Not a lot of people know that. Bung it in a glass of wine, she wouldn't have known a thing. So that's her. Now, the other woman.
Bella de Vere?
Yeah, she was lucky. She only took a sip.
Where is she?
Well, the doctor sent her home. There's not much he can do. Plenty of water and rest. That's about it.
There was this little boy carrying a glass of wine on a tray, and she took it, she drank it.
Were there any other glasses on the tray?
What?
How many glasses was the little boy carrying?
Just the one. She took it and drank it.
Laura?
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Was it you? Did you poison her? You've gone mad, haven't you?
Go away.
Are you all right?
Tom, the editor, Rosemary Furman.
Dead, I'm afraid. Cyanide poisoning, would you believe it?
Oh, but why? Who would want to kill her?
Well, she might not have been the target, Joyce. Crowded tent, bottles and glasses everywhere.
Was anyone else poisoned?
Dunno. A lot of glasses were broken when Bella fell over. Look, I've got a lot of work to do. You go on home. I'll catch up with you later, right?
I didn't see anything. I had nothing to do with the wine, you see. I was looking after the food.
Do you know who opened the wine?
Mr. and Mrs. De Vere. And Caroline. She saw him, you know. Mrs. De Vere. Just after the judges arrived and that lady introduced us, that's when she saw someone in the tent.
Doing what?
Taking one of the bottles. That's what she said.
I didn't see who it was. I'm not even sure if it was a man. Well, the sun was in my eyes and it was dark in the tent.
And he was taking a bottle.
He had a bottle in his hand.
Or perhaps he wasn't taking a bottle, but rather putting a new bottle in with the others.
I don't know.
Did anyone else come over to the table while you were serving?
I was there, and a little boy, Alex. He came over with an empty glass, and Mummy filled it.
Was this before or after you took a drink yourself, Mrs. De Vere?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't think this is the right time to be asking my wife questions, Chief Inspector.
Now they have to. They have to find who it was because, God, don't you see? It was me they were trying to kill.
Biscuit? I didn't kill him. Peter Drinkwater. I know that's what you're thinking. I wanted to. I saw him leaving here. That must have been when he stole my credit card. I know what the two of you are up to. I think it's disgusting. You're old enough to be his mother.
But the trousers, the ones that I found.
The blood came out of the surgery. Cat's blood. And the gold chain. I bought that. I know what you think of me, Laura. It's how you've always thought of me. But just for a little while. I wanted you to believe I had killed him. I wanted you to think I'd had the strength to shove a fork into him. It amused me. Made me feel good.
Gordon.
You disgust me. I want you to move out of my house. I don't want to see you again. I don't want to know you.
God, Troy, what a mess. Poisoning in front of our very eyes, and we still don't know who it is who was meant to die.
You think this is connected with the death of Peter Drinkwater, sir?
It's got to be. Unless it was an attack on the whole village.
To spoil their chances of the perfect village competition?
I don't think so. So here we have Marcus and Bella De Vere serving the wine. Bella opens a fresh bottle.
Which must have been tampered with by whoever it was she saw.
It's a bit what bothers me, Troy. The judges had just arrived, the big four, including Joyce. This is the moment they've been waiting for, so why look into the tent at all?
According to your wife, Samantha Johnson asked for a glass of wine just before it happened.
You spoke to Joyce?
A few questions, yeah.
Samantha Johnston asked for wine.
Yep, she was here. There was a 12-year-old boy, Alex James, he went and got it.
And according to Caroline De Vere, he was only carrying a single glass.
Laura Briley says the same.
Could it be that the poisoned wine was intended for Samantha Johnston?
Well, perhaps. But nobody even knew she was coming. She was a replacement. So why would anyone decide to kill her?
Where is she now?
Hello, reception? I wonder if you could help me. I need a telephone number. It's in Gloucestershire. One moment.
Mr. Mannion!
No, I'm sorry. No autographs now.
I'm from Corston Police, Mr. Mannion. You leaving?
Yes, I am leaving. They try to bore us to death in the first village, and when that doesn't work, they try to poison us in the next. Well, I've had enough.
Have you seen Samantha Johnston?
No, I have not. She's in room 200, opposite mine.
Police. Is that your pass key? Thank you. Damn. I think we are a little late.
Dead?
She was stabbed.
But, Dad, what's going on?
I need you to think very carefully, Joyce. There is somebody extremely dangerous in Midsummer Manor. First, Peter Drinkwater, then what could have been a mass poisoning, and now this.
And you think they're all connected?
I think the first death prompted the next two. But I don't quite know how. That's why I need your help.
You were the last person to speak to Samantha Johnson in the tent, Mrs. Barnaby.
What did she say?
I don't know. I mean, the music was so loud, I can't be sure I heard. She was worried about something. Something or somebody she'd seen. She said, "I've just seen someone in the street." That's what it sounded like.
In the street?
But there wasn't anybody in the street, except Cully and that man.
Edward Allardyce?
Was he on the green?
He didn't go anywhere near the tent. He came in to do some shopping.
Wouldn't the village shop have been closed?
Did you get to know Samantha Johnston at all?
Yes, I did. I had a drink with her. We talked for about an hour.
Did she tell you anything?
Yes, she was an unhappy person, clinically depressed. In fact, she hinted that she'd tried to commit suicide. She was committed for a while. She spent 6 months at a place called Sebden Manor.
Did she say where that was?
It wasn't in Gloucestershire.
Yes.
She tried to make a phone call to Gloucestershire just before she died.
Just one last question, Joyce. Did any of the other judges know about the murder of Peter Drinkwater?
Oh, yes, we all did. Frank Mannion had read about it in a paper. He made a joke about it on the bus.
Right.
Where are you going?
Gloucestershire. Don't wait up.
Marcus.
How are you feeling, old girl?
I'm tired.
I brought you something. It's been quite a day.
Yes.
You sure you're feeling better?
Yes. I'm all right now.
You gave me quite a scare, Bella, my dear. I love you. You know that.
Marcus.
Everything's going to be all right.
Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby, I called you earlier.
Barnaby?
Yes.
I'm Dr. Sellers, Mark Sellers. I head up the psychiatric staff. How can I help you?
I want to ask you about one of your former patients, Samantha Johnston.
Do you have some ID? Oh, yes, thank you. Detective Sergeant Torrey.
Troy.
Oh, yes. I have mild dyslexia. Samantha Johnston, yes, I remember her. The writer. Come in. You have to understand that Sebden Manor is not a psychiatric hospital in the strictest sense. Very few of our patients have actually been sectioned, and those that have are usually very close to the end of their terms of sentence. They see us more as a sort of halfway house.
Had Samantha Johnston been sectioned?
No, she committed herself. An attempted suicide. Yes, this was 22 years ago. Marital breakdown, lack of self-esteem, leading to alcoholism and problems with dogs. Drugs.
How long was she here?
18 months. She arrived just before I did, which is probably why I remember her.
Did she get to know anyone? Was there anyone she was particularly close to?
It's funny you should ask that. I was just about to say, yes. She formed quite a close friendship with one of our most notorious residents, Annabel Weston. I don't suppose the name means anything to you.
No, please, go on.
Weston case was very famous in its time, 1955. Annabel was 7 years old then.
I don't want you to go. Why do you have to go?
Come on, Anna, we talked about this.
Her parents were wealthy and hard-working. The father was an accountant. They had a big place near the coast.
No.
Charmed life.
Are you off then?
Probably what made it all so shocking.
You'll be all right with Mrs. Foster.
No, I won't.
Oh, you naughty child! You go straight...
It was one night in June. Nobody knows exactly what happened, except the child must have had some sort of argument with the housekeeper, Mrs. Foster. Anyway, the child went down into the kitchen. She pulled out a knife and, well, she butchered the housekeeper. Stabbed her 7 or 8 times. Then she went to bed. She was asleep when her parents got back.
Thank God.
The knife was being held by one of her stuffed toys. There was never any question that she'd done it. She admitted as much to her parents. She didn't like the housekeeper, so she killed her. She had no idea she'd done anything wrong.
And they sent her here?
Oh, no, no. She went to various secure institutions before going to Broadmoor. She was there for over 10 years. She certainly wasn't a threat to anyone anymore, so she eventually ended up here.
And Samantha Johnston?
More or less took her under her wing. There was something of the child still about Annabel. Both her parents were dead by this point. Samantha became something of a surrogate here in the retreat.
I'm sorry.
What?
What did you call this place?
The retreat. Sebden Manor sounds so prim and Victorian. Everyone here calls it the retreat. We like to think of ourselves as a shelter, one step away from the real world.
We've got to get back to Midsummer Mallow.
Annabel Weston?
She's there, Troy. Cully told me as much. Homicidal maniac running about with a pitchfork. And for once, Cully was right.
Where are you going?
Oh, Greyfriars House. I left my tape recorder there. Later.
Rosemary Furman's death was a mistake. The poisoned wine was aimed at Samantha Johnston.
Because Annabelle Weston knew her?
Because Samantha Johnston knew Annabelle Weston. Think about it. A murder has taken place a few days before in Midsummer Mallow. And no ordinary murder. It's psychotic. Pitchfork through the chest.
Annabelle Weston's living in the village.
Under another name, right. And the one person who knows her secret is suddenly right there in front of her. Timing couldn't have been worse. One word from Samantha, and Annabelle is exposed. So, Samantha has to die.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
What are you doing here? Who are you?
Cully.
I'm sorry.
This is Cully Barnaby, the girl I told you about.
I'm sorry, Cully. I didn't mean to frighten you, but I've been so afraid. I thought I heard someone. I picked up the knife.
It's all right, my dear.
It's ever since we were burgled.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be here. I just came to collect my tape.
Cully, let me introduce you. This is Jane Rochelle, my wife.
Mr. Barnaby. Yes, come in. I'm afraid Bella isn't here.
You know it's her we've come to see.
Oh, yes.
Bella. Short for Annabelle. Yes. You knew she'd killed Peter Drinkwater.
I suppose I'd better tell you the truth. It won't make a jot of difference now to Bella or to me. Yes, I knew.
She told you?
She didn't have to. I knew at once. As soon as I heard he'd been found dead.
You knew who she was when you married her?
Annabelle Weston, yes. Yes, I knew. She answered an ad that I put in the newspaper. Lonely Hearts. And I fell in love with her, just like that. Of course, I soon found out the truth about her. Couldn't be avoided. She was still under supervision then, reporting to the Home Office. But it didn't matter to me what she'd done when she was a child. I loved her.
So it was her driving your car that day at Windy Whistle Farm?
Yes.
Had to be one or the other, Troy. The daughter or the mother.
You knew I was lying?
Yes.
Jack?
What? Peter Drinkwater was killed shortly before 3 o'clock. The killer was seen leaving the farm a few minutes later by Ray Dorset, who was on his way to Corston. You tried to pretend it was you, didn't you? But I knew you were lying. Just took me a little while to work out why. Are you certain it was Ray driving the van?
Yes, he had the window down. He was smoking a cigarette. Ray smokes all the time.
Ray Dorset was driving to Corston on the same side of the road as the farm entrance. So the driving seat would be on the other side, away from the farm. There was no way you'd be able to see if the window was open or closed, or for that matter, if the driver was smoking.
Yes, I was having to think on my feet, rather.
And there's something else you said. Troy asked you what time you left.
It would be about 2:30. You'd just gone up for your nap. She always dozes off in the afternoon. And that's when I went.
It was 2:30. Yes.
That business about Bella going upstairs for her nap. You weren't asking her to corroborate your story. You were purposefully trying to give her an alibi. She was asleep. You were in the car. You were trying to protect her.
Yes.
But why did she kill him? What was the point?
She thought he was going to marry Caroline. She couldn't let it happen.
Very devoted mother. See all the photographs, Troy. Unfortunately, she carried her devotion a little too far.
She poisoned Rosemary Furman and herself?
Yes. Bella had no idea that Samantha Johnson had been chosen to be a judge. If she had, she'd never have shown her face on the green. Must have been a great shock when she saw Samantha getting off the bus.
Mrs. Furman.
Yes?
As head of the Midsummer Marrow Committee, I'd like to welcome you and your fellow judges to Midsummer Marrow. As you can see, we've arranged perfect...
Excuse me.
What is it, Mrs. DeVere?
I thought I saw someone take something.
She was improvising. All she knew was that she had to get away from Samantha before she was recognised, before Samantha actually greeted her by a real name.
I didn't know anything about Samantha Johnston. I didn't know it was going to happen.
I believe you. But Bella had decided then and there that Samantha had to die.
Can you get me another one, please?
It would have been easy for Bella to go home and doctor a bottle of wine with rat poison while the judges were being shown round the village. Then, all she had to do was wait.
That lady over there, she wants another drink.
While the little boy carried the glass to Samantha, Bella poured the poisoned bottle into the other glasses. And then, she took a little sip herself. And that was the clever bit.
Bella!
When she fell, she smashed all the glasses.
Yes. She made it look as if she might have been the intended victim and at the same time destroyed the evidence. All those broken glasses around, we'd never been able to tell how much poison there was or where the poison came from.
But then Rosemary Furman drank the wine.
Thank you so much.
But...
God, that's disgusting. What is it?
Well, her death was an accident. So later on that same afternoon, Bella caught up with Samantha in the hotel.
I didn't know, you know. She was lying upstairs in bed. I thought she was asleep.
But you knew she'd killed Peter Drinkwater. And you must have known she was responsible for the poison. What are we going to do? Stand around and let her wipe out the entire village?
No. I'd already decided what I was going to do. And I've done it.
Where is Bella?
She's upstairs.
You said she wasn't here.
She isn't.
try.
You'd have put her back in the bin, wouldn't you? I couldn't let you do that. I would have destroyed her. I gave her sleeping pills and then a pillow, you know. Quite painless. It was better for her. So much better. I only wanted her to be happy.
Oh, it was horrible, Dad. Jane Rochelle wasn't killed in that accident. She was just very badly burnt. I told you, she was so beautiful.
There they were, the two of them, living in that house, hiding from the world.
Sad.
Do you know, for a while I was certain that he was responsible for the deaths.
Why?
Well, actually, it was your fault. You said that just before she died, Samantha Johnston told you she'd seen someone she knew in the street.
Well, that's what I thought she said, yes.
But Edward Allardyce was the only person in the street.
That is true, but what she actually said was that she'd seen someone she knew from the retreat, meaning Sebden Manor.
Well, the music was very loud, Tom, and I did say I wasn't sure.
You still misled me.
Tom!
I relied on you, Joyce.
Well, nobody's perfect.
It's probably just as well.